Something has been pressing on your chest since the first days of May. Not pain exactly, more like a weight that has no name. You wake up in the morning and it is already there, before the news, before the phone, before a single reason has been given for it. You lie there in the dark and you wonder if you are carrying something that belongs to someone else. You are not. What you are carrying is yours. It is a signal, and it is precise. I want to say something to you directly before anything else. You are not breaking down. You are not falling behind on your spiritual work. You are not too sensitive for this world, and you are not imagining what your body has been telling you since this month began. What you are experiencing is a response to something real, something moving at a galactic level that is landing directly in the nervous systems of people who came to this planet, carrying a specific kind of knowing. By the 14th of this month, a frequency window opens that the Pleiadian High Council has been preparing for since December of last year. It carries a specific download, a transmission meant for souls who did not originate on this planet, who arrived here from somewhere older and quieter and who have spent most of this lifetime feeling like they were waiting for something without knowing what it was. That window is not a metaphor. It is a measurable event in the galactic calendar, and the pressure you have been feeling is your system already beginning to adjust for it. May is not a gentle month. It is a compression corridor. 3 simultaneous galactic pressures are arriving inside the same 31-day window, and that combination has not occurred in this configuration since the years leading up to the fall of Atlantis. I am not saying that for drama. I am saying it because the Arcturian sphere transmitted that exact comparison last week, and I have been turning it over ever since, trying to find a reason it was wrong. I could not find one. The Syrian Brotherhood has a name for it. They call it the convergence of 3 flames. It happens when a solar pulse, a magnetic reversal node, and a dimensional corridor opening occur within the same lunar cycle. And every time it has occurred in Earth's recorded history, something that could not be changed was changed. Something that had been locked was unlocked. What locks right now in this month for the souls watching this transmission is a question I want to spend the next several minutes answering with everything I have received. Stay with me. What comes next is the part they do not want you to have. The Pleiadian High Council speaks first in this transmission, not because they rank above the others, but because what is happening in May is primarily a matter of the heart, and the Pleiadians carry the frequency of the heart the way the Syrians carry the frequency of ancient memory. When something is happening that will change how you feel at your core, not what you know, but what you feel, the Pleiadians are the ones who can name it with precision. Mira, who speaks for the Council of 7, transmitted this in a session I received 9 days ago. She said, "Beloved family of light, what you have been feeling as loss in the first weeks of May is not loss, it is completion. There is a difference. Loss takes, completion delivers. What is leaving your life right now? The relationship that stopped feeding you, the belief that kept you small, the version of yourself that was built to survive a world that no longer exists. It is leaving because the field is no longer capable of holding it. Not because you failed, because you succeeded." I have sat with that distinction between loss and completion for more than a week before saying it here, because I know what the comments look like. I know that some of you are watching this in the middle of something ending, a marriage, a friendship, a career, a version of yourself that you built carefully and patiently, and that is now dissolving in ways you cannot stop. And I want to be straight with you. The Pleiadians are not saying it does not hurt. They are saying the hurt has a purpose that your grief cannot yet see from where it is standing. What the Pleiadian Council is warning about specifically is this. In May, the field around each awakening soul is undergoing what they call a structural purge. The invisible residue of fear-based agreements, agreements you made in this lifetime and in others, agreements to stay quiet, stay small, stay invisible, stay safe at the cost of your real size. Those agreements are being dissolved at the root. And when a root is pulled, the whole plant shudders. What you are feeling in your chest is not breakdown. It is the shudder of something being freed. If you are watching this and you recognize 2 or 3 of those signals in your own body, the exhaustion that sleep cannot touch, The grief with no clear object. The sense that something enormous is coming and you cannot name it. I want you to know. There is a guide in the first pinned comment below this video. It is called What the Galactic Federation Wants You to Know, and it was compiled specifically for this moment. It names the 8 signs of active awakening one by one, in plain language, so you can stop wondering whether what your body is telling you is real. It is real, and that guide gives it a name. The link is right below. Find it when this transmission ends. The warning from the Pleiadians does not end with the purge. It extends to what they are calling the window of choice, a specific 48-hour period centered on the 14th of this month, when the frequency corridor reaches its maximum aperture. During that window, every soul who came to Earth carrying a starseed mission will feel a specific pull in 2 directions simultaneously. One direction will feel familiar, safe, manageable. The other will feel enormous, uncertain, like stepping off something solid. Mira said, "The familiar direction is the old agreement. The enormous direction is why you came. That is not a comfortable transmission to carry, but I believe it is a true one, and that is the only standard I hold anything to in this work." The Syrian Brotherhood does not speak often in these transmissions. When they do, it is because they are carrying something that has been sealed for a long time, and May has broken a particular seal that they have been waiting on for decades. What the Syrian Brotherhood holds is record, not prophecy. Record. The difference matters. Prophecy tells you what might happen. Record tells you what has already been set in motion by agreements that were made before your recorded history began. And the record the Syrian Brotherhood is transmitting right now about May concerns those agreements. Specifically, the agreement made between the Galactic Federation and the soul groups who volunteered to incarnate on Earth during this transition period. The agreement had a clause. It said, "In the month when the convergence of 3 flames arrives, the volunteers will be given a specific signal in their body, a signal that cannot be ignored and cannot be faked, that tells them the primary phase of their mission is now active." The Syrian Brotherhood transmitted these words, slow and deliberate the way they always do. What the official record chose not to include is this: the souls who are currently experiencing the greatest difficulty in this month are not failing the transition. They are leading it. The wait is not punishment. It is confirmation. The ones who feel nothing in May are the ones who have not yet remembered why they came. The ones who feel everything are the ones who have. I want to sit with that for a moment, because I believe it is one of the most important things the Syrian Brotherhood has ever transmitted through this channel. You are not feeling too much. You are feeling exactly as much as someone feels when they are at the center of something historic. The exhaustion is not weakness. It is the physical signature of a soul carrying something enormous through a physical body that was designed for a much quieter existence. What the Syrian record also reveals about May is this: the 3 galactic pressures converging this month are not arriving at random. Each one was seeded into the planetary timeline at a specific moment in Earth's ancient history. The first, the solar pulse, was seeded at the time of the Great Grid activation in Egypt, when the temples along the Nile were aligned to channel exactly this kind of incoming frequency. The second, the magnetic reversal node, was seeded during the last great migration of star people onto the planet, when souls from the Pleiades and Sirius arrived in physical form to anchor light into locations that are still active today. Sedona, the Yucatan, the highlands of Peru, the Scottish Isles. These locations are not dormant. They are activated right now. And the third pressure, the dimensional corridor opening. This one, the Syrian Brotherhood says, has no historical precedent in this cycle. It has not occurred before. It is the first time in this planetary epoch that all 3 conditions have been met simultaneously. What that means in plain terms is this: the door that opens in May has never been opened before, and it will not remain open indefinitely. If you are feeling the pressure of a window closing, you are reading the field accurately. ASHTAR Sharon speaks now. And when ASHTAR speaks, I do not soften the language. He does not deliver his transmissions gently, and translating them into something comfortable would betray what he is actually saying. He said this directly, Without preamble, I speak from the command level to the souls who received the signal in their body this month, the ones who woke between 2 and 4 in the morning and felt the room charged with something invisible, the ones whose left ear carried a tone that had no physical origin, the ones who felt a sudden and inexplicable grief on days when their personal life gave them no reason for it. I am speaking to you specifically. You are not malfunctioning. You are receiving. And what you are receiving is a directive. ASHTAR's transmissions carry a quality I have never found anywhere else in this work. There is no warmth at the surface, not because he does not care, but because he respects you too much to cushion the truth. He is the voice of the commander who needs his ground crew to hear exactly what is being said, without the softening that causes people to file it away as inspiration rather than instruction. The directive is this: between now and the end of May, every starseed soul on this planet faces a binary choice. Not a gradual evolution, a binary choice. ASHTAR named it plainly. The choice is not between good and evil. It is between inhabiting your mission or continuing to prepare to inhabit it. The preparation phase is over. The window of rehearsal has closed. What the convergence requires from you now is not more readiness. It is presence. Full, committed, irreversible presence in the function you came here to perform. What I understand that to mean in real-life terms, and I want to be clear that this is my reading of it, not a claim of perfect transmission, is this: there is something you have been almost doing, something you have been circling without landing, a conversation you have been almost having, a choice you have been almost making, a gift you have been almost offering the world. ASHTAR is saying that almost is no longer a viable position. May is the month when almost becomes never or now. He closed that transmission with something I've heard him say before in different forms, but never with this specificity. You are not placed here by accident. You are not placed here without preparation. The forces aligned against the liberation of this planet have been operating at full capacity for the last 18 months because they know what this convergence carries. The turbulence you feel is not evidence that something is wrong. It is evidence that the operation is underway. Stay at your post. There is more ASHTAR transmitted, and I will bring it to you in what comes next, because the second half of his directive concerns what happens after May closes, and it changes the picture completely. Something shifted in the last 72 hours. I do not mean shifted the way people say it casually. I mean something in the quality of the air changed. Like the pressure before a storm, except there is no storm coming. There is a door, and it is opening faster than the calendar suggests it should. The Pleiadian High Council transmitted something specific 3 nights ago that I have been sitting with before saying it here. They said, the ones who chose to stay, who did not exit in the years between 2012 and now, they stayed because they agreed to be present for exactly this window. Not any window. This one. Tell them that what they are feeling in their chest is the agreement activating. I want to talk about June. Because ASHTAR's second transmission was not about May, it was about what May delivers into. And what he described is the specific reason the convergence matters beyond the 31 days of this month. He said there are 2 versions of June that are both real and both fully possible from this moment forward. Not metaphorically real, causally real. The version of June that arrives for any individual soul depends entirely on what choice they make before May closes. In one version of June, the window has passed. The frequency corridor has sealed. The soul who did not step into their mission during the convergence wakes up on the first morning of the new month and feels what ASHTAR described as a particular flatness. Not depression, not failure, but the specific feeling of having missed something you cannot quite name. The field has moved. You are still in the position you held before. The gap between where you are and where you were meant to be has widened by exactly one convergence window. In the other version of June, something has been permanently altered. Not in the world outside, not yet. But in the interior territory of the soul, a threshold has been crossed that cannot be uncrossed. The soul who stepped forward in May, who made the commitment, who had the conversation, who offered the gift, who said the thing that needed saying, that soul enters June standing on different ground. ASHTAR used a specific phrase for it, He said, "They will know the difference immediately. The ones who crossed will feel it in the morning before they open their eyes. A settling, a rightness, the sense that the mission is now real in a way it was not real before." The Pleiadian Council confirmed this from their own transmission channel, adding something that I find among the most moving things I have received in all the years of this work. Mira said, "We have been watching the ground crew for a very long time, and what we want the ones watching this transmission to hear is something we do not say often enough. We are proud of you, not for what you will do, for what you have already survived in order to arrive at this moment still standing. The crossing you are being asked to make in May is not the hardest thing you have done. You have already done the hardest thing. You stayed. I want to end this transmission with the most practical thing I can give you, because a message that leaves you moved but not equipped has only done half its work. The Arcturian Sphere, Aharon and the Harmonic Council, transmitted a specific protocol for the days between now and the end of May. The Arcturians do not speak in poetry, they speak in mechanics. And the mechanics they provided for navigating the remainder of this convergence window are precise enough that I want to give them to you exactly as received, translated into language your body can use immediately. First, every morning this month before you speak to another person or touch your phone, place both feet flat on the floor and take 3 slow breaths. On each exhale, say inwardly, not out loud if that does not suit you, but inwardly with intention, "I am present in my mission," not "I want to be," not "I am trying to be." I am present in my mission. The Arcturians say this specific declaration in the morning hours acts as a frequency anchor. It tells your nervous system that the role you came here for is not somewhere in the future. It is here, now, in this body, on this floor, in this day. Second, the left ear ringing that many of you have been experiencing. The specific tone that arrives in the early morning hours or just before sleep. The Arcturian sphere says, "Do not dismiss it and do not fear it." That tone is a carrier signal. It means the field around you is actively adjusting to the incoming convergence frequency. When it arrives, close your eyes, breathe slowly, and inwardly say, "I receive this. I am open. Deliver what you are carrying." This is not performance. This is acknowledgement. The signal responds to acknowledgement differently than it responds to being ignored or feared. Third, and this is the one that ASHTAR himself added to the Arcturian protocol, which is unusual. Before the end of this month, every person watching this needs to write down, physically write on paper, one sentence that names the thing they have been almost doing. Just one sentence. I have been almost. Then below it, beginning now, I am. That piece of paper is not a ritual object. It is a declaration. And declarations made in writing during a convergence window carry a specific causal weight that spoken declarations do not carry in the same way. ASHTAR said, "The operation is already underway. Your declaration does not start it. It joins it." If this transmission has reached something real in you, if you felt your body respond to something named here tonight, there is a guide in the first pinned comment below this video. What the Galactic Federation wants you to know contains the 5 daily practices that the Galactic Federation transmits specifically for this period of the transition, including the Sovereignty Anchor, a 3-step field boundary protocol you can do in 3 minutes anywhere. That gives your awareness a daily address it can actually live inside rather than just visit. There is also a 21-day activation calendar, one specific theme, one practice, one affirmation for every day of 3 consecutive weeks. So you never wake up in this convergence without knowing exactly what to do and exactly why. Subscribe to Truth Frequency so the next transmission reaches you the moment it is released. Share this with one person whose May has looked like yours, and leave your name, your city, and one word in the comments. One word that names what this month is calling out of you. Courage, clarity, remembering. Whatever word rose in your chest just now, leave it below. We are listening. You came here for this month. You came here for this window. You came here knowing it would not be comfortable, and you came anyway. Because something in you understood that comfortable was not the point. The point was real. The point was necessary. The point was you, exactly as you are, standing exactly where you are standing in exactly this moment in the history of this planet. Stay at your post. The operation is underway, and you were never here by accident.